Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Yay, come on. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at what these tea leaves have to say. Okay, and so our card for tonight is the 8 of Cups. And I'm just going to show this one to you. It has to do with indolence, but it also just... it looks a little bit, well, the flowers are kind of past their prime. They're kind of just pouring out. The skies are getting a little dark there. Not quite into that swamp yet, but maybe getting close. So we must remember ourselves. Let's see, this kind of, there we go. All right, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so I want to look at this. We have an S and it looks like an I, okay? Let's see, an S, and it looks like an I there. So either yes or C, yes, or the name Sai, S-I. So if that means anything to you, if there's some kind of question, a yes or no question you have coming up and something important, seems emotional, but also seems like it is in the physical world. It is touching this lower part of the plate, which is where we see things going on in the material base reality. Okay, we also have what looks like a dove right here, and there's a lot of peace in this acceptance, in this yes, and or in relation to this person. They are somebody who is important to your life. That's, you know, a kind of refuge. Okay. Now we have these two, it looks like two people. Maybe they're wearing skirts, and it looks like they have their hands up, okay, kind of reaching out. This one almost looks like maybe a baby. So I don't know. I'm seeing it looks like a little Pegasus right here. And then we have kind of a giraffe. I really feel like there's an energy of, you know, like receiving a child, being close to somebody in your family who has a child, welcoming a child into the family. There's a real sense of kind of sisterhood here, but it doesn't have to be directly like your sister. It could be somebody who you feel a great kinship with. They're in this, maybe you don't identify, you know, as a woman or a feminine person in this way. This could be, you know, in relation to women in your family or in your social group. So I feel like, you know, there's an energy of a new baby, new life coming into this dynamic. And I feel like that's a beautiful thing. I think you're very excited about it. I think that this is something that maybe almost feels like it's a miracle Okay, I see up here. This one looks to me like a fairy godmother, right? Like I feel like, and they even look like they're holding maybe like a little wand. I feel like this felt like something that maybe wasn't going to happen. Maybe, you know, there were some fertility issues or, you know, whatever it was. But I feel like this is happening, and or you know it's something that has already there's baby energy, so I feel like the baby is maybe on their way soon, or they're already there. Okay, so this feels like a very happy and blessed time. Definitely. Okay, so we turn this way, we also have a person with a wand, okay? On both sides, different wands. But I see in this one, to me, I feel like this has a lot to do with you as a being, okay? I feel like, and I think this is separate from the beginning of the reading. This is a separate issue altogether, separate situation. I feel that someone in your family, and I see two people kind of going up a hill here. I feel like they have been struggling, okay? At least one person. I almost feel like this could be a parent or some kind of mentor to you. And I feel like there's really been a series of unfortunate circumstances. I feel like they are getting older, okay? They've lost some people, you know. As you get older, a lot of your peers, well, of course, the older generation, their parents, siblings maybe start passing away, the people they grew up with. So there seems to be kind of this feeling about life that there's been a fair amount of loss. I think that this is compounded with the world changing and some financial issues. I don't think that they were prepared for living in a world that is maybe as expensive. There are so many more things to pay for these days. You know, if you're living on a fixed income, it's treacherous, you know. And so I feel like you have been a person that they are close to, who they rely on in some aspects, although they do kind of they do have still this real sense of pride, right? And I think that you have a great respect for this person or these people, your family. And so I feel like you've really kind of done this dance of trying to help them, but in a way that doesn't feel like, you know, you're, that they need your help, if that makes sense. That you kind of just go about the business of showing up, doing the things that they need done, maybe helping financially, helping them plan for things, but you do it quietly. Because, you know, I think that they want a sense of autonomy, of power in their own life, and who doesn't? I also think that these are, you know, I think that, and I feel like this is almost like maybe mother, father, but almost like it's like maybe like mother and sister, like your aunt. It feels like a pair of people in some way. But I feel like you have always had such respect. They've always supported you, guided you, always really loved everything you were doing, even when it didn't make sense to them. They still showed up for you. And I feel like you want to return that energy to them. You know, and that's just the way life goes, right? People in our lives that we love, that we care about, they get older. And it really is, you know, of course, dynamics are different for everybody, right? You know, but if you have a relationship with your family, or in my case, it's my chosen family. We call each other our acquired chosen family. And it's kind of a weird situation, but it's a good one. And you know, you just show up for people who need you. Okay? And so, and I feel like this is the energy that you have. And I think that a lot of this drive that I have, myself, to be there for my acquired mother, father figure, who are dear friends of mine as well, let me just say, and they've really, you know, they're beautiful people. But I think a lot of the fire in me that keeps me so close to them after all these years, you know, they're not my parents, but they are, you know, is that I have so many Leo placements. I really think it is the Leo in me. There is this sense of devotion, you know, and I feel that with Leos. Like, when you are down with somebody, when you have decided, this is my people, these are my people, it would take a lot for you to walk away from them. And so you honor those you love as they have honored you. And I feel like in a lot of ways you've been lucky. Maybe, again, these aren't your origin parents, or you know, maybe these are other family members. Maybe these are friends, mentors, whatever it is. But you show up. Okay. And that's the thing. And you continue to learn from them, even in their old age. And just, isn't it such an honor to be around people who have lived life, you know? I just, I love listening to people tell stories. I love listening to people's lives. Nothing makes me happier than when I meet somebody who wants to talk about themselves, tell me about where they came from. You know, what was it like growing up? What would you like to do? You know, what do you miss? You know, what do you think about now? What memories do you go back into that just feels so alive, just immersed in them? You know, when you get these times where people are willing to share with you these things, listen, you know, above everything else here. And I think that you really are a huge blessing to your people here. And I see that in this wand that you're holding. But I also think that they, you know, when they are willing to talk to you about things that they feel are important, memories, listen, take it in. I mean, goodness, if you can, record it, write it down. Keep a record of the people you know. I talked about this in my first readings. I mean, you know, when I first started doing these readings, I was really interested in this idea of just kind of, what is the word? It's not even an amateur journalist or historian. Just somebody, anybody, any of us. We all have phones now. We all can record. Just sitting down and having a conversation with your folks. You know, with your great aunt, with your great uncle, with your neighbor, whoever. Ask them about their lives. Ask them about the stories they never told you. Record it for your family. Keep a record. Have it transcribed. Put it in a book. Have it bound. You know, make this a project for yourself if you are interested, of course. Our self-mythology is powerful. And the only thing that's more powerful than our self-mythology is when somebody is interested in it. The generosity you show in paying attention to somebody, especially somebody who has kind of, you know, they feel like they've aged out of this world. When somebody will sit and listen to them, what a gift you are giving them. What a gift they are giving you. What a sacred meeting. It's powerful. We also have an eye up here. Okay. And I feel like because this is in that emotional zone but metaphysical, my goodness, I feel like your eyes are open. You are in one of these modes of awakening. I feel like you feel so connected lately. I know we got this card, the indolence. And I feel like really what this relates to, where it sets the tone for this reading, is in this person that you are helping in your family. I feel like there has been a sense of wanting to just give up. Okay? But I think that, you know, with you around, with you kind of taking up the role of maybe caregiver, at least support, listener, witness, beloved, someone who honors them. I feel like this is all about this awakened state that you're in. You've transcended a lot of the little stuff, the piddly, frivolous, garbagey things that we do when we're young, right? And we have to, we need to. But I don't think you waste your energy that much anymore. You're intentional. You move with meaning, with thought, intention, power. You're not about to waste your time or anybody else's. And I think, you know, when we witness people in our lives who we love, who we respect, especially if these are people who raised us, and it feels like for a lot of your life that they know everything. They have the answers. They're indestructible. They know how to get out of, you know, most situations. But then when you see them struggling, when you see them stripped down of, you know, the resources, ability, whatever they had, that can be confronting. But it's also a lesson in humility. And it reminds us that we are all open to the whims of the universe. And I think we soften these transitions through kindness, being there, doing our best. And it can be hard. It can be a big life change when you start taking care of people. There's a lot of responsibility in that, but you are a responsible person. And that's why they probably rely on you. I feel like you're in a good place. And I feel like, you know, I feel like you can rest at night knowing that you're doing your best. Sometimes that's not enough to get that good sleep, but I do believe that you are trying. And that means a lot. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I see we're looking at the sky. So we're making some plans. I see some long-term plans kind of being etched out. I know that in the last, I guess, month or so, you've probably finished a project or two. And I think that, you know, the next thing will be coming. I think that, you know, the energy has been work-related things, resource making, family. All of this has been on point. I don't think that has changed. You know, there might be limited time, okay? And really the thing to work on is the time management. You need to take care of yourself. When you feel overwhelmed, you need to take a break. Try to work on getting that sleep, intentional movement, eating well, drinking water, getting outside, all of those kinds of things. The things that we forget about, right? But I think generally we have a good feeling here. Okay, let's see. We have the Indigo Sage Affirmation cards. And these are the air sign. I really like the purple so much. The violet colors. Okay. Ooh. Very nice. We have the owl. We have the little moon and the flower. And it says, rejoice in simplicity. Occupy every point of view. Choose to know the truth because you can. I think that this is where you're at. You're facing things head on. You realize within this situation, you cannot obscure the truth. You have to go head on with it, because choosing to ignore it is, you know, things are going to fall apart. It's going to get infinitely worse. I see you doing the science, finding the different positions of perception, figuring out what the moves need to be. You know what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and the algorithm kind of decides what happens to all of these videos, these readings, how far out they're going to reach. And the algorithm really likes engagement, so liking the video really helps. Watching the readings from the beginning to the end, very helpful as well. Sharing the readings on other social media platforms, I guess, is helpful of what I've read. Other than that, if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. Between now and the next Leo, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising, your Venus, and cross-watching for your loved ones. seeing what's going on in their horoscopes. And what's the other thing? I always get to the end, I'm like, whoa. Yes, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read every single one of them and I reply back to all of them. So it takes me a day or two sometimes, but I do appreciate them. I am on a social media detox here. So this is really going to be my only interaction with people on the internet. And so I will appreciate any and all communications. Yeah, so Leo, I love you, and we will talk again very soon.